So, have you ever considered that the story of Santa Claus, that it might actually be intricately linked to, well, the anatomy of your own spine?
Sounds pretty out there, doesn't it?
Right. And not just the spine, but ancient spiritual concepts and even like a specific substance inside your body.
Hmm.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into an excerpt that presents a really unique and, I guess you could say, alternative take on the whole Santa Claus narrative.
Okay, interesting. Where's this coming from?
We're looking exclusively at a transcript from a YouTube video. It's titled The Sacred Secret of Santa Claus #Chakras.
Right.
And just to be clear, our mission here isn't about saying whether these claims are true or false. We're just trying to impartially unpack the core ideas from this fascinating source material.
Like lay out what it's claiming?
Exactly. Guide you through its perspective without getting lost. We'll touch on, the significance it gives, the number 33.
Okay.
This journey of some kind of mysterious substance from the medulla down the spine, a concept it calls sexual essence, and how this thing called the claustrum is supposedly central to where Santa comes from.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's quite a mix of ideas.
It's definitely a ride.
So what really jumps out first is how the video uses like a very specific physiological detail to start building its case.
The 33 vertebrae, you mean?
Exactly. It connects
Man.
the 33 vertebrae in the human spine directly to the 33 years of Jesus's life.
Right.
So it's immediately drawing this parallel.
Yeah.
Human anatomy and a major spiritual figure, suggesting there's some kind of hidden meaning there within its particular view.
Okay, so building on that parallel, the 33 vertebrae, where does the source go next? It mentions a substance, right, and a journey.
Yeah, it does. According to the video, there's this literal substance or liquid that comes from your medulla.
Okay, the brainstem bit.
Right, yeah, the lower part of the brainstem connecting to the spinal cord. And this substance, starting there, supposedly travels down your spine,
All the way down.
all the way down to the sacrum, that triangular bone, at the base of the spine.
Uh-huh.
And the video explicitly calls this whole descent the Christ coming down into human form.
Wow. So it's equating an internal, like, physical process with the incarnation.
That's what it seems to be saying. Yeah, interpreting a big religious idea as something happening inside the body. Very specific.
And it doesn't stop there, does it? The source brings in this idea of a sexual essence linked to it all. What does it say about not squandering that essence? What happens then?
Well, yeah, that raises the question of what exactly it means by sexual essence and squandering it
Right.
in this context.
Right.
The video suggests that if this essence is preserved, not squandered, then it actually ascends again and goes back up to heaven.
Back up the spine.
Presumably, yeah. So in this view, sexual essence seems to be some kind of vital life force, maybe linked to creative energy, and preserving it allows it to move upwards, symbolizing, personal spiritual growth, or returning to heaven.
It sounds almost alchemical, like
Yeah.
transforming something physical into something spiritual.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. Linking physical discipline to spiritual results.
And this is where Santa comes in, which, honestly, when I first read this part,
Uh-huh.
my jaw pretty much dropped. The source says, straight up, it's also the story of Santa Claus, why he comes down the chimney. How on earth does it connect Santa's chimney trip to this internal journey?
It's definitely a leap. A bold hypothesis, you could say.
For sure.
The video claims that this juice or this whatever substance actually passes what's called the claustrum.
The claustrum.
And that's presented as the critical link, it says, which is where they got Santa Claus.
Wait, so Santa Claus from claustrum.
That seems to be the claim. Now, the claustrum, the real part of the brain, this thin sheet of neurons deep inside. Neuroscience is still debating its exact function.
Right, it's not fully understood.
Exactly. But in this specific interpretation, the journey of this internal substance through the claustrum is presented as the literal origin story for Santa Claus.
So it's taking a familiar myth and mapping it onto this esoteric physiology.
Pretty much, yeah. Reinterpreting the whole thing.
So let me see if I've got this straight. Pulling it all together, the source is basically saying Santa coming down the chimney. That's a metaphor for this internal substance moving down through the claustrum.
That seems to be the core idea presented, yes.
And then presumably going back up the chimney would be the ascent, the return to heaven part.
That fits the pattern it lays out.
Yeah.
The ascent after preservation.
Wow. It really does weave this incredibly detailed, interconnected story. It bridges like human anatomy, spirituality, and this huge pop culture figure, Santa Claus.
It's certainly a unique tapestry of ideas.
Okay, so we've just walked through this really different interpretation of Santa Claus, all based on that YouTube video excerpt.
Yeah, quite the journey.
Just to recap quickly for everyone listening, we saw how the video links the 33 vertebrae in your spine to the 33 years of Jesus's life.
Right.
That kind of sets the stage for this whole physiological, spiritual allegory it presents.
Right, establishing that initial parallel.
Then we followed the path of that substance or liquid it talks about.
Mm-hmm. The one it says comes from the medulla.
Exactly. Descending the spine down to the sacrum. And the video calls that descent the Christ coming down into human form.
Yeah, giving that internal process a really significant spiritual label within its own framework.
And we touched on the key role of what it labels the sexual essence.
The idea being if you don't squander it.
Right. If it's preserved, it can then ascend back up, which symbolizes returning to heaven. So you have this whole cycle down and then potentially back up.
A complete internal journey of descent and ascent, mirroring a spiritual path, according to this source.
And finally, tying it all back to good old Saint Nick.
The big connection.
The video claims Santa coming down the chimney is basically a metaphor for this substance passing through the claustrum.
And it even suggests the name Santa Claus somehow derives from claustrum. That's what the source puts forward.
Right. So it's a complete reframing of this really familiar holiday figure through a very specific and esoteric lens.
Definitely takes it in a direction most people wouldn't expect.
You know, exploring this deep dive really makes you pause and think about finding these kinds of really specific, interconnected interpretations in places you wouldn't expect.
Mm-hmm. Like in seemingly unrelated stories or traditions.
Yeah, it kind of pushes you to think about how stories, maybe especially within certain niche viewpoints or esoteric traditions, might carry these hidden layers of meaning way beyond just the surface story.
Absolutely. It encourages looking at familiar narratives, maybe with fresh eyes, and seeing how different systems of thought can reinterpret symbols in really intricate, sometimes surprising ways.
It really does. So I guess the thought to leave you with is this. If a familiar story like Santa Claus can, according to this one source at least, hold these kinds of profound, unexpected, sacred secrets, well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other well-known stories, myths, or even traditions might be carrying their own hidden, deeper truths, just waiting for someone to uncover them through a totally different lens?
Please click like and then subscribe. Also share this video with your friends. Thank you.